Okay, so let's start with our session today. So yesterday we have completed till here, right? So how to reset index and how to insert and how to create new column in a data frame. Okay, now we are talking about the slicing. Okay, so let me explain this slicing. So first let me cut this. Yeah. Okay. So in slicing, the first thing will be ilog. Okay. So ilog is index location. Now how this works is basically, so this is our first column which is indexed as 0, this is indexed as 1, this is indexed as 2, this is indexed as 3, this 4, and this 5, and this will be 6, and last will be 7. Now this row will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 3, this will be 4, this will be 5, this will be 6. Okay. Now, when I say, so the data frame name is df, let's say df is the variable name of this data frame. Now, when I say df dot ilog 0, okay. So when I say 0 means 0th index of this data frame, and this defined row. Okay. So which is the 0th row in our data frame? Here, this is our 0th row. Okay. So it will print out 0th row with all the columns. Okay. Now when I say 1 df.ilog1, then it will print my first row. Okay, this will represent row. Now if I want to print columns also, specific only columns. Okay, so df.ilog, let's say this is representing row and this second index will be represent columns. Okay, so let's say I want from 0 to 3, and this is separated by comma, and whatever we'll write over here, let's say from 0 to 2, I need 0 1 2. Okay, so I will write from 0 to 3 because it works as a n minus 1, so 3 minus 1 is 2, so up to 2 it will print. Okay, so now this is my row from 0 to 3 means till to these 3, and column, which column are representing here, comma 0 to 3. Okay, now 0 1 2. Okay, so this is my data, it will print it out. Okay, so in this way we can slice. So the first part is row. Okay, so the first part will represent the rows which we want to slice, and second part will columns which we want to slice. Okay, and similarly, let's say if I want to do from 2 to 5, this will be my row, comma, and I want 3 to 6, let's say this will be my column. Okay, now I do allocation. Now from 2 to 5, this is row. Now go to row here, 2 to, from here to 5, 2 3 4, 5 means 4 and minus 1. Okay, so these three data, these three row will be representing this 2 to 5, and this is my column representation. So for 3 to 6 means third index, this is my third index, and 6 means 6 minus 1, 5 till 5. So this is my column. So what is the intersection of these? This part. This is my intersection. So this will be my slicing part. Okay. Now let's check in our coding part. Okay. Now I have told you df dot index location ilog. So when I say 0, it will print 0th index. Okay, this is like the index is 0, 1 2 3. This is defined by us, but index location doesn't work the on the index we define. It works on the index that it has default inside the data frame. Okay, so everything is default is started from index 0 to n. Okay, similarly columns also from 0 to n. Okay, so if I say I log 0, so it means this is my 0th row representing. Okay, now if I say from 0 to 2, okay, 0 to 2 means 0 and 1. Now 0th row and first row. Okay, this is my slicing part. Now I have said that this is representing row part. Now okay, so 0 to 2. So I have told you this first part will represent the row part. Okay, so from 0 to 2 means 0 and 1 because it will work on n minus 1, 2 minus 1. Okay, so this is my 0th row. Okay, and this is my first row. Okay, don't confuse with this index. These index are provided by us only. Okay, so it will work on the default index. Okay, so 0 to n. Okay, in that simple. Okay, now this is my row. Now I am pretty much confident how to extract rows. Okay, so let's say 4 to 6. Okay, so it will represent me this row. Now let's say I need to access columns also. Okay, so second part, so we'll start with comma. So this is representing row. Now second part will representing columns. Okay, so for columns, this is my 0th column, first, second, third as per the indexing. Okay, so let's say I need 0 to 3. Okay, so means 0 1 2. Now let's see what it will come. Okay, now 0 to 3, 0 to 3. So 0 to 3 means this. Okay, 0 1 2. Okay, 0 1 2. I annotated here. This is basically 0, this is basically 1, this is basically 2. This is 1 0 1 2 3 in this way. Okay, now what's happening here? 0 to 3 means basically 0 1 and 2 index. Okay, so 0 1 2 index, this part. Now this is representing rows. Now this is representing column. Okay, so 0 to 3 columns. So 0 1 2 it means. Okay, now 0 1 2, this part. Okay, now what is the intersection of these two? This is the intersection part, right? This data. Okay, so it will give you this 5 6 4 current Rahul Iman 1 1 1 2 2 3. Okay, so in this way we try to extract using slicing. Okay, so first part will be row and column. Okay, now okay, so I think this is clear. Row and column, whatever we need. Now let's say I need this part, the first one and the last one. Okay, first one and the last one only. Okay, and all the columns, but first row and last row. Okay, so in that case what we can do? So for that there is another notation. So we need row, right? So it means we have to work on the first part. Okay, so for first part, if we need to slice from different part, okay, so it's not a consecutive part, right? If I need from first to 7, so I will write 0 to last index, right? But I don't want the middle part, this part. Okay, I'm jumping direct from first to last. So in that case, we need to pass another list of list of rows number. Okay, row index basically. Okay, so I want first this one 5, and this is representing by 0. Okay, so I need 0 comma. Now what I want 7th. Okay, so this is basically 6th index. Okay, so zeros, it starts from 0 to 6. Okay, so I need 6th one. Okay, and I will execute directly. Okay, I am just giving the rows only. The first part is row. Okay, so I am saying I need those rows which are at 0th index and 6th index. Okay, now it will give me those rows. Now let's say I need some more slicing. So I'm saying I don't want the whole columns over here. I just need first and last columns only. Okay, so again I will do comma. Now second part is column. Okay, now again if I need to jump from direct from one place to another, some other specific columns without consecutive order, so what I will do, same thing. I need 0, this is my 0. Okay, and this is my 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so this is my 7th. Now see, my CD is sliced. This C and D column is sliced. Now similarly my row is also sliced over here. Okay, so in this way we can slice. So let's say I need second, fourth. Okay, so I can slice that also. So second means 0 1. Okay, so I will say 1 1, and let's say 0 1 2 3. Third one 1 and 3, and let's say 2 and 3 here. Okay, second means 0 1 2. This is second and this is third. So code, column, and first and third rows. See, code, column, second and third. Okay, so it's very simple. You just need to understand just two things. So whenever I use index location, okay, this is my curly bracket. Okay, now you need to slice some rows data, some column data. So it is comma here. Okay, so first part is row and the second part is column. Okay, if you need some column from index 0 till 5, let's say, so you'll write from here 0 to 5, any number of n number. Okay, any number you want. And if you want some specific rows only, okay, so you will again represent from 0 to let's say 4 in this way, if it is from ranging from a specific length. Okay, if you want only specific columns you want to define, then you can use iloc, and within that list row numbers, row 1 comma row 2 comma row 3, whatever row you want. Okay, and comma again, and again bracket, and whatever column number you want, column index. Okay, so let's say column index 0, column index 5, column index comma column index 6, and close it. This is a row, this is column. Okay, I think it's clear for you guys, because just you have to mention the indexes only. It works on the index number only. Okay, now let's say I will not pass. Now let's say I will not pass anything here. Okay, so I am not passing anything in the rows part. Just I am making it a blank. So whenever in Python we put a blank in the index, it means from the starting point. Okay, so blank means from the starting, and this blank means to the ending. Okay, so let's say execute this one. Now for row part, it's saying nothing to nothing. Nothing to nothing means starting to very end, from very start to very end. So let's see here. So from the very starting, all the rows are here. Okay. So let's say I'm saying from nothing to 5. Okay. So it starts from nothing, 0 means default value. So from the very beginning of the data frame. Okay, till 5 means 4. 5 minus 1, 4. Till 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, till this row, Zeri. So it will represent. Okay, so if I say, now if I say from 4, 3 to nothing. Okay, so it will start from 0th index to all the way last one till 7. Okay, so let's execute this. Now you can see from third index, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way down. Similarly, it also works in this. Okay, so if I, let's say if I do this, now what will be my output? From nothing to nothing, column, sorry, row. Okay, nothing nothing means all the rows. From start, nothing means starting from the very first to very end. Similarly for columns, from the very beginning to last. Now if I execute this, my whole data frame, nothing. Okay, so it means I'm saying all data. Okay, so this is also something confusing thing. Many times they ask this kind of questions. Okay, so we can do this also, or we can pass any specific index. Okay, in this way. Okay, and second is this. If I want specific columns and rows, I can do this. Okay, so first, three, fourth, and column second and third. Okay, so is this concept clear, how to slice the data frame? If there is any doubt, then just let me know. I will go through you again. Just ping me in the chat if it is clear. Okay, I think it's clear. I will assume that it's clear. Okay, now the next part is LOC. Okay, so we have seen what is index location. Now another is LOC, that is location. LOC, location. Okay, location is very simple than iLoc. In iLoc, we need to check the indexes, right? So we need to count which index from starting to end, or we need to count from 0 index to 1 or 4 or 5. Okay, but in location, LOC, it doesn't work on the index. Okay, index number default. It works on the exactly the column name and exactly the name of the indexes. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's say here I have some other name. So let's say row 1 in string, or row 2, or row 3, or row 4. Then also we can just pass the name of the index only. Okay, so let's check this. Okay, so let's say if I pass 1, so first, it's not basically the one index, it's the name of the index. One is the name of the index. It's not indexing just like in array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just the name, you can say. Okay, so if here we have, let's say, row 1, so we need to pass here like row, whatever name here is, whatever name you see in the index, whatever we have set the index. Just like in yesterday class, I have told you how to set index. We can set our customized index. Okay, I can make this name as a index. So Karan, Rahul, Nimad, this can be also index. So if I make this name as an index, so my first index will be Karan, second index will be Rahul. So I need to write here Karan and Rahul in a quotes. Okay, because it is a string. But here I have index as an integer number. Okay, so I will pass the integer number only. So first one index name 1. Okay, so if I execute, this will be printed out. But if I say, let's say I'm saying I need 0, so it will give me error. Why? Because there is no 0 in index name. Okay, so we don't have 0 name here in an index. Okay, so if I say 5, then it will give me the 5th row, this one, this index data. Okay, so in this way it works. Now similarly, if I need to find the range, okay, so let's say from name of index 2 to the name of index 4. Okay, so I simply pass range. So I need from 2 name 2 to 4. So yeah, so 2, 3 and 4 it will represent. Okay, similarly just like in index location. Now come to the column. Let's say I need to slice columns also. Okay, so now here I don't need to pass the indexes, just like in index location. Here we need to pass the name only. Okay, so let's say I need C. Okay, this one. So just I will pass C. Now you can see here I get 2, 3, 4 because this is the row representation. Okay, so 2, 3 and 4, and this is my column name. So column name. Now let's say I need from C column to till column 3. Okay, call 3. So again nothing to do, just type the column name only from C to call 3. It's pretty much easy, right? It's easier than index location. We not need any indexing. We're just giving the name only. Okay, so from 2 to 4. Okay, so let's say I need C to all the way to last. Okay, so we start from C to all the way to D. Okay, or if we need to developer till developer, I will give me it will give me till developer. Okay, so this is row representation for column. Okay, this in this way it works. Now let's see how to slice in between data. For example, let's say I need this. Let's say I need this fourth index. Okay, index name 4, index name 6, index name 7 data for row, and for here I need call 2, call 3, and developer. So similarly, in just like it in the I location, so df.loc. Okay, so again in the bracket. Okay, so I need second, I need fourth, okay, and I need six name. Okay, this is the index name 246. Okay, and second, what column do I need? So I need the column. Let's say I need column C. I need a column call 2. Okay, I need a column. Let's say developer. Okay, these three. Okay, now if I execute that, simple. Okay, so C call to and developer is coming over here, and on top of that second, so index number 2, index number 4, index number 6, 2, 4 and 6. Okay, now if I need to slice, let's say, so let's say if I need to slice this part. Okay, if I need to slice this part, then what will I do? Just I will check what is the index name. So index name is 3, index name is 4. Okay, for this, and what is the column name? Column name 2, call 3, and I will just pass df dot idoc. What are the columns? As in rows and columns. What are the rows? So I need row 3, row 4. Okay, and comma. I will need call 2, comma, call 3, and this. That's it. So let's say I need some more data. So this data also, let's say, okay, so I will add 6 or again. Okay, so I will add 6 comma here. Okay, in this way. Or let's say I need only this. No, this no. Let me complex one. So let's say I need this data. Okay, this data, this data, and this data. Now what will I do? What should I do? Okay, so let's calculate this. So how will I approach this problem? I will just do so first df dot loc. Now let's see. for Rahul and DEF. What is my index name? It's 2. Okay. I will just pass over 2 over here. Okay. Now for Shield and element for this row, this is my index name, that is 4. Okay. Now comma. Now let's say what is the column corresponding to this data. For Rahul and Shield, the column is name. So again, simple. I will pass name, comma. What is for this? Call to. That's it. Logic. Okay, now let's say if I need this also, then I will add this level also. Okay, level. So it's pretty much simple. Okay, so just you need to understand this is the column part, sorry, row part, and this is the column part. If you need from range, so from this to all the way this, so you will use colon to define the range, and just comma. And for range here again, from here to here, let's say consecutive you want, so you will say from code to level. Okay, but if you want specific in between data, then you will pass the row name. Okay, so row index name. So let's say row 2, row 5, again here column 5, let's say column 6, so column 7, anything, and just closing bracket. It's that simple. Okay, so when you practice 2-3 examples, okay, you will get to know. Okay, so the concept is this row and column, that's it. Okay, so okay, now let's proceed further. So is there any doubt on this? How does this index location and location works? So the difference between index location and location is just one thing only. Okay. So the difference between these two are very much simple. So index location, it works on index. Okay. Default index. Okay. What do you mean by default index? Default index means the data, just like in array or list, there is default index from 0, 1, 2, 3 till n. So the index location works on default index. So data frame has default index, which is represented as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, column also works on 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till n. Now when I need to slice, then I need to pass the index number. Okay, so index number means 1, 2, and again from here 2 or 3, any index column number. Okay, so we need to pass here row index number, and here column index number. Okay, but in LOC we need to just pass index name. Okay, so let's say my first index name is row 1, second index name is row 2. Okay, that will be a string. So I will just pass the for row index name, and for column name. That's only difference. Okay, so if you need to specify using index, then use index location. Okay, so I think it's clear. Okay, now another point, another topic basically I need to discuss is, so yesterday I have explained the null values, right? So is NA, is null, how to check for that. Okay, so I have a one sample data that I have created for null values. Okay, so for A, I have created 1, 2, and this np.nan is basically null value, not a number. Okay, so np is numpy basically. So numpy has nan, so we have import numpy. So from np, we are defining that this column is a null value. Okay, and these two column also, these two row data is also a null value. Okay, so when I execute this data, I can see a small data frame ABC, and for A it has one nan value, and for B it has two nan value. Okay, now let's say again I'm assigning new column. Okay, so yesterday we have discussed this one also. If you need to assign new column name to existing data frame, then we just need to define df means my name of data frame, and within that bracket I will define my name, whatever name I need to give, and pass the list over here. Okay, so similarly here I have done that. Now if I execute, now you can see in the df new column is added, canvaz. Okay, so states. Now this will be the same concept of yesterday. So if I need to set index, okay, so I can also give my customized index. Okay, so here again I have added new column in my data frame index with 0 2 3, and I'm making in this df this column index as a index name. Okay, so I am saying set index, and this is the index column name, and yeah, in place equals to true means it will manipulate my this original data frame itself. I do not need to reassign to the data frame. Okay, so let's execute this one. Now you can see this index column I have created over here in data frame is converted to index. Okay, so this is my index 0, not 0, 1 2 and 3. Okay, this is my index. Now how to drop null values. Okay, first let's check yesterday's method that I have told you. Df dot is na, right? Is na dot any, if you remember this function. Okay, so yesterday we got all the columns as a false, 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 right? But now you can see here for column A it's giving me true, column B it's giving me true. That's because at least one column, okay, at least one row has a null value. Okay, here it has 2, here it has 1. Okay, so we can see A and B has a null values true. Now how can we can drop the rows which has none value. Okay, simple. Df dot drop na is a function. Okay, so drop na means drop the null values. Okay, so let's say I'm executing this one. Now you can see the rows which has null values. So this row has null value. Okay, this row has null value, and these two are dropped. Now only first is here. Okay, 151 ca. Okay, now again if I check the df, it will be same. Okay, it will not change. That's because we have not defined in place equals to true. Okay, so if you need to execute this, you need to write in place equals to true. Okay, I will not run that code. I will just write over here and comment it, and you can run it later because I don't want to drop in my existing data. Okay, so you need to run this code to remove all the non values columns rows. Okay, now if you want to remove the columns, okay, so again the same concept, x is equals to 1. So when you define x is equals to 1, it will remove the data from column only. Okay, so let's say for a column it has none value, so whole data this a will be removed, and again from b this whole b will be removed. Okay, and the remaining it will show. Okay, so let's execute this one. C and states are here. Okay, now you are maybe you are thinking that let's say I have a whole lot of data and I'm just giving df dot drop na, and if there is one null data, then the whole columns or whole row will get deleted. Okay, we don't do such thing basically. Okay, it's just for the knowledge purpose only. Basically we replace these null values with some other values. Okay, because if there is one value null value, okay, so it's not very good to remove whole columns, because this in this column can be important thing, and because of just one data we're removing a whole column. Okay, generally we don't do this. Okay, but we should know these functions exist. Okay, so now I will explain you the fill na first. Okay, so how to remove the null values. Okay, now here I have fill na function. Okay, so what is fill na? So fill n is basically whenever there is null values, then with what data I need to fill. Okay, so let's say I am saying df dot fill na with some default value. Okay, let's say we have decided if there is any null value, so default will be 10. Okay, so in that case, if I execute this one, now my this df will be replaced with null values, whatever null values over here. So a has here, now it is replaced with 10. Okay, now here it has replaced with 10. Similarly, here it has replaced with 10. Okay, but again same thing, it's not reflected in original because we need to do in place equals to true. Okay, now let's say the problem for this Fillna is whenever I try to pass the value equals to anything, so it will replace in all the columns. Okay, in all the columns it will replace with the same value, but we will not do these things in our data. That's because different columns have different types of data, right? So for that, what we can do? Okay, so for that we can do the specific column that we need to replace the none values. Okay, so let's say for example, if I need to replace a specific column. Okay, so what will I do? So first I will explain you this part. Okay, yeah, so let's say I will remove this mean for a while. Okay, so let's say I need to replace only the null values of column A. Okay, so what I'll do? So I'll pass df and I will pass the column name. Okay, and dot fill any. Here we are not passing any column over here. We are just passing the whole data frame, but I am passing here the column which I want to do. Okay, and I will pass fill any for a method. Okay, now whatever value you need to pass. Let's say I need to pass value 5. Okay, now see 1, 2 and 3. Now it is replaced with 5. Okay, so again you need to do in place equals to true for reflecting in the same data frame, but I am not doing because I need to demonstrate you guys. Okay, but I will again write with comment uh, in place equals to true. Okay, to reflect in the original data frame. Okay, now let's see. Here I have decided the value 5. It's a default value I need to pass. But let's say if you have do not if you don't want to pass specific values or based on the column. Okay, so based on the column you need to pass some value. For example, let's say we have decided and we have concluded that for column A I will replace all the null values of column A with the mean value of column A. Okay, so for example, if the mean of the column A value is whatever, let's say 1.5 is the mean. Okay, so how to execute mean? Similarly, just pass the data frame and execute this function dot mean. Now dot mean will give you the mean of the this column. Okay, now I need to pass this mean value to this Fillna. Okay, or there are two ways. You can directly pass this dfa dot mean, or you can pass mean value over here. Okay, I have directly passed mean of column A. Okay, so instead of giving my own data or my different kind of data I am assuming, okay, it's better to give the mean or the minimum maximum anything. So mean is the better approach to fill with my missing values. Okay, so I'm saying the average value will be my value that is missing. Okay, so I can do that. So if I execute this one, now see all the data are pretty much similar to each other. Okay, so instead of replacing directly 10 or 50 or 5 of my own data, we use basically mean. Okay, so it's more effective way of filling the data. Okay, now see, you can see the similar kind of data is here. Okay, similarly if you want to replace for B, we can do that. Okay, so this is the way of filling our data. Okay, the null data. Okay, so is there any doubt for this? How to fill the data and how to find the null values? Okay, I think it's clear for you guys. Now I will explain the last topic of today. Okay, so which is the group by. Okay, so group by, we know what is group by basically. If you have learned the SQL or Excel, anything, generally we do group by many times. Okay, so I have created one data frame here. So it is the company, the person, the sales amount, and the stock share price. Okay, if I execute this one, I'm getting this data frame. Okay, so company, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook, and is the person and selling stocks. Okay, now let's say I need to find the average, means mean. Okay, the mean sales for all the companies. So this Google has two times in my this data frame. So Google has one sale of 200 and another record of Google has 120. Okay, so I need Google and the value of whatever number of value it has in the data frame. So it has 200 and 120. So I need to group by mean. Okay, so mean of the 200 and 120. Okay, and the mean of the stock price. Okay, so what I'll do, the very simple. So I will use my data frame df dot, I will use the keyword group by. Okay, now what is the column you need to group by? Just pass the column name. So I need to group by company. Okay, okay, this is the syntax. Now after that, you need to define what arithmetic operation you need to group by with. Okay, so let's say I have mentioned mean. I need to group by mean of the company. Now what will it execute? So you can see over here, it will execute the mean of sales and stock price, because these two are the numerical data. It will not add Sam or Charlie, because these are not the column that it can, the mean can be executed. Okay, the only the numerical data it will execute. So for FB, for Facebook, the sales average is mean is 296. So the summation of 243 plus 350 divided by 2. Okay, similarly for Google, sales average price is this and stock price is this. Okay, so let's say if I have thousands of data and there are many companies. Okay, there are sales and stocks here, many things, numerical data, and you need to find, and you need to group by that companies or group by particular column and find the what are the average, what is the maximum, what is the minimum. Okay, of that group specific column name. Okay, so you can do in this way. So let's say you need to define only specific column. Okay, so you don't need sales and stock both. Let's say you need only sales column to be grouped by. Okay, so let's say you have 50 columns. Okay, so out of 50 columns, there are 20 columns of numerical, and when you execute df.group by, then it will execute all the 20 columns of numerical with the average or mean what you have defined. Okay, but you don't want all the 20 columns. You want only a specific column. Okay, so that also we can do. So we can pass in the bracket the columns. Okay, you will pass the one column if you want one. If you want two, if you want two columns, you can pass two columns. Let's say I need two columns. Let's say here you can pass two columns over here. Okay, so group by company, and then one outer bracket, and within that outer bracket one another bracket is here. Okay, and pass the number of columns over here, and again what function you need to execute. You need sum, you need max, you need mean, you need average, that is called mean, whatever you want. Okay, so if I execute this one, now you see, you can see sales and stock price and the sum of the total sale price for FB. Okay, so let's say these two summation. Okay, now if you want to remove some specific column, I will can remove this, and only it will work on sales column. Okay, so this is the group by for company column. Okay, but applied on arithmetic operation in sales. Okay, now let's say I need to sort. Okay, now I have, so I have right now I have only three data, but let's say I have big data. Okay, so I have like, let's say 1,000 of records, and I need to sort it. Okay, so I need on ascending or descending. let's say. Okay, so let's say I need an ascending order. So how can I do? Okay, so till here it's the same. Okay, so group by whatever column you want to group by, and on what column you want to do operation. Okay, similarly here, and dot, this time I have mentioned mean, so average I want to execute. Okay, till here it's same. First I will execute this part. Okay, so let's say I have executed this part. Okay, this is the data I am getting over here, but I want in ascending order. But ascending order on what column? I want ascending order on sales column. Okay, so I will do dot sort values. Okay, just a one function, sort values, and I will pass the column name sales and ascending equals to true. Now I execute this one. So I will get now 160, 232, 296. Okay, if I say ascending equals to false, now it will give me the in descending order. So 296 is the first and 222. Okay, and let's say I need stock share price also. Okay, so I will mention over here I need these two columns, but I need to sort based on sales column only. That also I can do. Now see, my data is here and the column is representing based on sales. Okay, so first is 296, 232, and 160. Similarly, you can pass stock price over here also, whatever column you need to pass. Okay, so in this way we can sort the data. Okay, so yeah, I think the group by we have covered, and group by and sorting, and we have covered the how to fill the data. Okay, so this fill NA is NA, these are the very important topics. Okay, so we need in machine learning very much. Before starting machine learning, we need to replace or fill data. Okay, but this is not the only way we need to fill our data. There are many ways that we're gonna discuss in and more sessions. Okay, but this is the basics of what we're gonna learn before machine learning. Okay, so these are the data analysis part. So I think it's clear for you guys. Okay, so is there any doubt regarding the slicing? Okay, so slicing part is very much important. You need to practice after this. Okay, because if you don't practice the slicing part, then there is in for in few in other sessions there will be directly we use I location. Okay, I log and I log and I index location. Both of these we need to we need to have very pretty much clear concept of this. Okay, without that we cannot execute or filter out that function. In future session we need to execute, for example, let's say I need those developers. Okay, I need those developers whose level is B. Okay, so those developers, the name of developer whose level is B. Okay, so I need to filter out those data. So these all data will be fetched based on index location and location only. Okay, how I will discuss in further session. But for that, this location and index location concept should be clear. This is the only thing we will use. Okay, so there are many conditions. Let's say the code. Okay, I need a developer's name whose code is greater than 111 and level is C. Okay, so these all condition we need to filter out. Okay, because when you work on the data analysis part, then these all scenario will be very much important. There will be requirements by the client that we need to fetch these data. Okay, and we need to represent for this conditional data. Okay, so let's say they will say the customer whose age is 18 plus, I need to fetch those data and represent in the pie chart. Okay, so in that case this index location and this location will be useful. Okay, how I will explain you, but the concept will be this only, the slicing part. Okay, so is there any doubt for today's session? Then you can just ping me in the chat, I will clear your doubt. Or if it is clear, then also just confirm me all okay. Okay, then I'll be sure about that. I will share this what do you call the file, okay, in the same Google Drive. Okay, you can check that. So are we good, guys?